Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have the national anthem of St. Kitts and Nevis, rendered this evening by Mr. Kishan Warner.
Oh, land of beauty, our country where peace abounds, and thy children stand free on the strength of will and love, with God in all our struggles. St. Kitts and Nevis, our nation bound together with our common destiny. As stalwarts we stand for justice and liberty, with wisdom and truth. We will serve and honor thee. No sword, no spear can conquer, for God will surely defend. His blessing shall forever to posterity extend.
Minister Denzil Llewellyn Douglas, Honorable Patrice Nisbet, Ms. Curlin Jones, the coordinator in the PEP office, Nevis, and her entire staff, the PEP Secretariat from St. Kitts, participants in the PEP program in Nevis, and employers, a very pleasant good evening. Good evening. It is indeed a privilege and an honor for me to be here this evening in Nevis celebrating with our PEP participants and other stakeholders here. This program have changed lives and will continue to change lives not only in Nevis but St. Kitts as well. This evening we are delighted to celebrate the achievement of the program thus far, being able to assist over 500 Nevisians in the PEP program and would have invested millions in our WISE program and other projects by extension. We are happy to be here, and we know that you are happy to be here, because the same way PEP is working in St. Kitts, PEP is working in Nevis.
Now every morning on Good Morning St. Kitts Nevis, from time to time I have to defend the PEP program. I have to defend it vigorously because the PEP works for people. You're getting a salary to learn. Where else in the world? Nowhere else. And so I have to defend it vigorously because I have to defend the people of St. Kitts and Nevis who are benefiting from the PEP. And now I want you to help me welcome to the microphone Teacher Janelle.
Good evening to one and all. Yeah, I just want to say a few words. I haven't been working for a while, for a good while. And then in January 2013, I got employed by Mrs. Vonita Collins of the Vonita Preschool. And I'm working with her for a year now. And I must say thank God for the PREP program. I must say thank God for the PREP program. It has been a great help to me. I didn't know where I would be today if it was for the PREP program. And for many of us, if it were for the PREP program, we wouldn't be working today. And I would like to say much, much thanks to the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Denzil Douglas. I just want to say thank you, thank you. Words cannot explain. I just want to say thank you, thank you.
I want to say a few more words on behalf of Teacher Janelle. Teacher Janelle, I don't think she mind me saying this. Teacher Janelle came to me looking for work. Honestly, I knew her a long time. We were very close, but I couldn't help her. Teacher Janelle has 3 children of her own. It is not easy, not working, and have 3 children to look after. Only God knows how she managed. And after she spoke to me, I prayed a lot. God answered prayer, PREP answered prayer. And I want to say thank you on behalf of Teacher Janelle. Not only on behalf of Teacher Janelle, but on behalf of the Vernon Lou Preschool. Vernon Lou Preschool has been in existence for 17 years. I couldn't employ an assistant worker. Thanks to God and thanks to PREP. May the Lord bless the Honorable and all of the PREP workers who have assisted Vernon Lou. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Thanks to God.
pleasure to introduce the Honorable Patrice Nisbet, the man who brought PEP to Nevis, the man who has been behind me to ensure that Nevisians benefit equally from the PEP program. I now invite Honorable Nisbet to greet you, the people of Nevis.
Let me say good evening to our Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Denzil Llewellyn Douglas. Let me also say good evening to the PEP manager in Nevis. Let me also say good evening to the participants in the various initiatives that PEP has undertaken in the island of Nevis. I want to first of all ask you tonight, has the PEP of Nevis? Has the PEP of Nevis? Without the PEP, where will Nevis be? I want to say to you tonight that the People Empowerment Program is a program designed to empower the people. It is a program that will ensure that those who participate in it are able to build lifelong skills. And so it's really a program that is designed to transit you from this type of employment into real employment and to participate in the real economy of the country. And so I want you to use the opportunity that you have been given by the federal government to acquire the necessary skill sets that you will need in order to lead a sustainable and a productive life here in the island of Nevis. But most importantly, I want us to acknowledge this evening that the presence of the People Empowerment Program in Nevis has come as a result of the support of our Prime Minister. The best Prime Minister. Not only the best Prime Minister in St. Kitts and Nevis, but the best Prime Minister in the region. And I believe he's the best Prime Minister in the world. And so as we celebrate tonight, we must remember that the support of the Prime Minister that he has given to this program, we must also reward those who support you. What you say? And so, without your support, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you will have the support of the Prime Minister again with another PEP program. And so as we celebrate tonight, as we are in a celebratory mood, in this very intimate and conducive environment, I want you to remember that the PEP has come to Nevis as a result of our great leader, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Llewellyn Douglas. And I want you to give 3 cheers to the Prime Minister. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! And I now take the opportunity to introduce to you the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Llewellyn Douglas to speak to you.
May I, of course, recognize the Honorable Patrice Nisbet, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Homeland Security, Immigration and Labor, and also our Minister of Legal Affairs and Justice in the federal government. I recognize him as well as the elected representative for Nevis 11. The people who have been very wise in Nevis 11 in electing him to the federal parliament. Let us give the people of Nevis 11 tremendous applause. I recognize as well officials of the Nevis Island administration who are here. Of course, the coordinator of PEP in Nevis, Ms. Jones, and all of the other facilitators in Nevis, the manager of the program at the federal level, Mr. Jeffrey Hanley, and others of the executive of the PEP who are here with him tonight, facilitators, trainees, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I personally want to thank you for being here tonight at this reception that commemorates the success of the People's Employment Program here on the island of Nevis. I must say to you that it is a good feeling to be here in Nevis once again. You would recall that I was here only a few weeks ago. What a wonderful time we had at the park, the El Camino Willett Park, seeing your children, seeing your brothers and your sisters, your nieces and your nephews, your students at the primary level, work up themselves with enough energy and enthusiasm, put into application all that they were taught by their coaches as they prepared themselves for the future athletes of St. Kitts and Nevis. Tonight, I want to again congratulate the students of the Charlestown Primary School, the champion school that emerged successfully as the champions a few weeks ago. I want to say that I am here specifically to speak to you on how important it has been for you to step forward in so many different ways. Those who are the businessmen who welcomed the idea of the People's Employment Program, opened your businesses to trainees, making a solid contribution in honing the skills, ensuring that there was training available for those who not only wanted a second chance, but those who wanted to make career changes so that they can become part of the trained workforce for the future as the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis continues to expand. I want to emphasize and thank in particular your representative in the federal government, the Honorable Patrice Nisbet, who informed our cabinet of the need for this program to be in Nevis, and who has been reporting consistently on the outcome of the program here in our sister island of Nevis. Let us give Patrice tremendous applause once again. And that is why I want to make the point before I go any further. So far, you have one representative of Nevis in the federal government. Just imagine if you had one more or two more, what it will do for the people of Nevis. And that is why I say, Nevis 11 is a pioneer. And he must be congratulated, they must be congratulated for electing Patrice Nisbet to Parliament to represent their interest. I believe that you are aware that PEP was specifically introduced to make sure that persons were given a second chance. It was introduced to stimulate economic activity. It was to ensure that the possible drift that had been described with regard to our unemployed youths, that drift will go away. And we would have our young people in particular gainfully engaged in wholesome activities that would redound to their own advancement, their own personal advancement, and the development of St. Kitts and Nevis. There are a few things that we have to be a part of in our lives. There are a few things that we must always remember as we settle down to think about our future, the future of our children, and the future of our country. I want to identify for you just about 4 of these things. 1, there has to be self-respect. You must have respect for self. Secondly, you must have respect for others. Treating others with respect is critically important for our future advancement and development. Discipline, the third one to remember. Discipline. Doing what you have to do, whether you feel like it or not. And this is very important. And all of us, you, me, Honorable Nisbet, Honorable Parry, Honorable Premier, Mr. Amory, President Obama, no matter what and who we are, we have things that we sometimes may not feel like doing. But if they are not done, if they are not taken as our responsibilities, we simply would have to get up and get moving and do them because they are critically important for our own livelihoods. And the fourth thing I want you to remember, especially as PEP trainees, is that you must work hard. There is no substitute for working hard. I want to give you of an instance of where sometimes you may be challenged, but you just simply feel not up to it to respond to the challenge. You may think that what you're being challenged with is unpleasant, but when you bring your mind to it and you get into it, you will recognize, after all, it is not so unpleasant. It is not so challenging. And very soon after, you become almost an expert in what you were first very reluctant to become engaged in. And this is the experience I'm sure that many of you would have had. The experience of being reluctant, having not worked for some time, wondering whether it makes any sense of getting up in the morning, getting to work on time, doing what you have been tasked to do, even though there may be some distraction, some provocation, but applying yourself nevertheless to ensure that the task is eventually achieved. I want to remind you that each of you must set goals. There are goals that must be set in life, and you must work towards achieving those goals. I believe very seriously that a lot of us have been given many unpleasant situations in our lives. But we must not allow that unpleasant situation to daunt us and keep us down. We must always develop positive attitudes that will overcome the feelings of inertia and get on with the job in order not only to prepare yourselves for now, but for the future, which we expect will be brighter for all of us. I must stress that PEP exists not because of any temporary program. PEP is in existence today because the federal government realized that we were undergoing a period of serious adjustment. Factories were letting off our young ladies in large numbers. Young men, some of whom had not completed their secondary education and could not find a job easily because there was no experience. There was no particular academic achievement that could be relied upon. And so employers doubted whether they could be gainfully employed. You needed to acquire a skill, some training, some experience, so that when the economy again is in full throttle and it is on its way to achieve that, our workforce would have been appropriately trained and ready for when St. Kitts and Nevis continue to take off for a much brighter future than we're experiencing today. It was just last week that we heard the International Monetary Fund, in particular, the Deputy Director of the Western Hemisphere Department of the IMF, responding to a question that was asked of her with regard to the People's Employment Program here in St. Kitts and Nevis. What was her response? The response was that the PEP of St. Kitts and Nevis was an admirable thing. It had to be done because the government recognized that if it were to invest in the future, the best way to invest in the future would be to invest in the human resource of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so I say to you, Dominica is introducing the PEP. St. Lucia is introducing the PEP. Germany has already introduced the PEP. Countries around the world are introducing the PEP because they realize it is important to train our workforce. And as someone just said, they realize it works. It works. And so I say to you finally, that those of you who are engaged in the PEP, you are engaged in a good thing. I want you to work hard. I want you to absorb all of the training that you can get. I want you not to waste the money that is being invested by the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation. I want you to know that when you would have succeeded to a large extent in being adequately trained, you also can receive support and assistance from the SIDF to establish yourselves as self-employed persons, businessmen and women, that would add definitely to the economic development and lifeblood of St. Kitts and Nevis. My dear people of Nevis, we are here tonight because we believe a good thing has been introduced to St. Kitts and also to Nevis. You can be assured that PEP is here to stay. As long as Nisbet is in office, the PEP is here to stay. As long as Douglas is in charge, the PEP is here to stay. As long as Labour is the federal government of this country, the PEP is here to stay. Don't disappoint yourselves. Don't disappoint us. Use the PEP. Make use of it, and you will advance yourselves in life and help to build Nevis and St. Kitts alike as a powerful country of the future. God bless you. Thank you very, very much.